What is good with y'all, man? TKG, what is up? Hold on. I don't feel too right yet. Now, I'm all the culture. Over here on this channel, we always criticize people. We always go off on folks for their questionable decisions as to why they have certain people ranked some places, and even why some people are nominated for some awards. BT. But we're gonna have to do the same thing again. We're gonna, we talked about the VMAs, we talked about the damn, the Grammys, BET Awards, and now we're going to talk about Billboard. If you go over to the Billboard website, not only can you see who's has the best charting songs, the best charting albums, but they have a part on that website to where you can look at the decade top charting artists, or the best artists of the decade, pretty much, in Billboard's opinion. And with all these different genres on there, I took the liberty of ranking all the rappers. I took all the rappers based off of their order, and today I'm going to show you who they have from 23 to number 1. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this is very upsetting, especially by the end. It's quite upsetting. So, of course, you already know what time it is, man. Buckle up. Let's get into this. To kick this off, we have Meek Mill at number 23. And that tells me that, this entire list is going to be pretty weird, because we have Meek Mill, the 23rd best rapper of the 2010s decade. Now, I'm not against Meek Mill, but I can name a couple more artists that were pretty, a little better. And based off how the rest of this list looks, like, trust me, y'all are going to have y'all going to be scratching your heads at a lot of what you see here. Now, I want to be honest here. Meek Mill, how can I say this without being disrespectful? He's on the cusp of great for me. He's on the cusp. He's literally knocking at the door of greatness. It's just the inactivity, the inconsistency, the outside drama. It's it's just so many things stopping him from being like a definite great to me. Because for sure he is good. He's, he's, one of the best rappers out today. But you want to be great? You want to be a GOAT? Dude, you got to be one of the best of all time. You got to be one of the greatest of all time. Not the best of all time, but the greatest. Meek Mill is just a guy who, I don't know. I'm always looking for more from Meek Mill. I've always got my eyes on it and kind of listening extra to all of his, projects coming out. But to say he's the 23rd best, or, we'll say best rapper of the 2010s decade is quite asinine, in my opinion. At 22, we have 21 Savage. Y'all know how badly I wanted to say at number 21, we have 21 Savage. That'd have been awesome. But 21 Savage, the 22nd best rapper of the 2010s decade. I am at a loss for words. That I don't know. I really don't know how it's like opinion. Your opinion matters, right? Your opinion is your opinion, and that's fine. But it's just like 21 Savage, like the guy literally just broke out on the scene. And really, he in 2000, I'd say 18, 19, 20 was really his best years. But to say 3 years is enough to put you on this list, we're not even in the beginning of the, the bullshit. Like, we're really going to start scratching the surface on this shit in a second. But 21 Savage is number 22 of the best rappers of the 2010s. Like, there's been hundreds of good rappers, so many good rappers to come along. If you'd have put Roscoe Dash here or some shit like that, it'd have made more sense than fucking 21 Savage, if I'm being clearly honest with you. Cause I don't understand. I don't get the criteria. I don't understand the charting, the listing. Were they going by records sold? Are they going by skill? Because if they're going by records sold, then okay, I get that. But if they're going by skill, man, listen, I'm gonna spoil this for you, but Nas is nowhere on this list. So yeah, take it with a grain of salt. You're not gonna see a lot of spiritual miracles on here. And there's no Joey Badass either. There's no Denzel Currys or JIDs or Tyler the Creators. Nah, none of them guys. You know, no Earl Sweatshirts. No, not even a collective Odd Future. You know, just nah. No Benny the Butcher. No, you know, I'm just throwing names out there just so y'all get an idea of what not to expect. So yeah, I disagree with this one as well. So far this whole list is just terrible to me. We have B.O.B. at 21, and this is where I legitimately think that they stopped doing it by skill and they started doing it by like impact and, you know, like numbers or something like that, because B.O.B. literally is like, after I'd say probably 2000, maybe 14, 15, like this guy stopped being, you know, relevant. This guy stopped being Mr. Hitmaker and everything like that, because I won't lie, from like 2009 to up to like 2012 or 2013, like B.O.B. was that guy. Like the radio was his, you know, the hits were his, the you know, everyone was looking out for another B.O.B. classic, I guess you could say, because the guy was making anthems. And, you know, I was one of those guys that believed that B.O.B. was next up. Like, even when we had already been introduced to him on XXL, I was still saying that he was next up, like literally like 2 years after, you know, his inception with XXL. And honestly, I didn't think his fall off would happen. I thought maybe he had the sound and the look to carry himself on. But when you make stupid comments like the earth is flat and, you know, oh, I know the earth is flat because I read a book about it. Some person on, you know, it's just like, you gotta hear about it to really get the gist of it. And then on top of it, the guy kind of a loudmouth, kind of is a cocky character. So I don't know, people tend to, you know, gravitate away from guys like B.O.B., but for sure had a strong impact back in the day. So I would say this spot is somewhat earned. Lil Uzi Vert is at 20, and honestly, I 100% expected Lil Uzi Vert to be here, just simply due to the fact that everyone's been riding this guy's balls ever since he kind of blew up, I guess. You know, everyone's calling him one of the most influential artists of the 2010s, and it's like, I see it, but it's to see him mentioned with the best artist of the 2010s decade, it now has become an influence thing. It now has become an influence and numbers thing, and I'm still doing this based off of skill and influence. And yeah, if you're gonna do this off of influence, then sure, put him on here. But why the hell is Meek Mill still the lowest on here? Why is a guy not like Nas not even on the list? A guy like Tyler, a guy like, I'll spoil it for you, Mac Miller isn't on the list. You know, like it's ridiculous. You know, you wait to see these things, you wait to hear about it, you wait to see the respect given, and it's just like, wow, really. But Lil Uzi Vert, I mean, no bias here. I have no bias towards anybody, but I like this guy. I do. I like his music. But even with his impact, I'm still not going to put him on the list to, we're talking about the best rappers of the 2010s decade. We need to include skill. We need to include skill. We need to include talent. We need to include, your time period in the game. I do not think in 4 years I'm able to say that Lil Uzi Vert legitimately. And this is not even, again, this is combining all the artists from every other genre on this Billboard chart, by the way. So for Lil Uzi Vert to still crack the list and to be higher than a lot of other artists, kind of, it's crazy. I don't know. It's just something about it that I just don't agree with, honestly. No hate on Lil Uzi Vert. He's a good artist. Because, we're doing this for 2020, the 2020s decade, dope. Like, yeah, all right, awesome. Lil Uzi Vert, put him on there. Put him high on there. But 2010's, man, I'd have had Lil Uzi Vert as an honorable mention. Like I said, this whole list is going to sound like I'm hating all these guys, and I'm not. Trust me, it's just how my thinking works. I'm like split in between two. I have an old head mentality, yet I'm a part of the kids, the lit kids, and the mumble rap supporters and everything. I'm on both teams. Well, I guess you could say I'm just not biased. That's all that is. Big Sean at 19. Now, on the podcast over on Amir's podcast channel, I went on to say that Big Sean is not a great, and Big Sean is, he's not really close to me. He's not a great rapper. You don't have to be a great rapper to be here, apparently, but damn, like, what the fuck? Big Sean made the damn list. We're talking about talent, or again, are we talking about numbers and impact? At this point, you already know what time it is. It's just like the fucking list, the whole list. I don't mean to sound like Flight Reacts here, but like I don't understand how you make this list at this point. I don't get it. Because you got Lil Uzi Vert on here, who's been really big for what, 4 years, 3 years? We'll say 4. You got a guy like, Meek Mill on the list, who's literally last, who I would say most likely is the best rapper that we've named so far. And he's literally sitting at number 23. And Meek Mill is the best rapper we've ran into so far. I'd say he's the closest to greatness that we've ran into so far. And he's really got started in 2010s, and he's been relevant up till 2020. Yet Big Sean is kind of, like he's been popular, but has he been popping? And he hasn't. Not more than Meek Mill, I think, in my opinion. I just, it's just something about the guy that just does not scream future legend. Does not scream, maybe one day Big Sean could change my mind, but it's just the matter of fact that the guy's so fucking plain. Again, I look at him and then like, what are you? Like, what emotion are you supposed to invoke when I hear your music and then I look at you? Boring ass rapping, boring ass look, just nah. He could have missed the whole list for me. Again, there are so many other rappers that I could have put on here. And don't worry, y'all. For everyone asking me to make my own top 50, my own top 20, I am definitely going to do that. So look out for that for sure. Juice WRLD at 18 absolutely blows my mind. We can go ahead and take influence into account, and that's why Lil Uzi Vert will be here. We can take numbers into account, and that's why Big Sean and Meek Mill are here. If we combine all of these things, I am still missing the reason as to why you include Juice WRLD. I love Juice WRLD. He was one of my favorite artists while he was alive. Rest in peace to that man. But again, we are not biased over here. He shouldn't be on the list just because he's deceased, because he was a good artist. Because at that point, now you're making me starting to think it's about skill. Because if it's about numbers, yeah, sure, the guy had a number 1. And his album went, number 1 post death and everything. But this is before the fact. They made this list before the fact, or before he died. And we're talking about Death Race for Love. That album was getting quite good, but again, yes, it was getting good, but what the hell? There are so many other artists that have done good or just as good as Juice WRLD, and they weren't even, like, no honorable mentions were made for this list. So we put Juice WRLD on here, and he was big for literally a year. Yeah, Juice WRLD was literally popular and, out there for 1 year. Just about one. Like, 1 year, we could chop it up, say 1 year close to 2. But it still is a very short amount of time to include him on a list where we're talking about the best fucking fuck rappers, the best artists of the 2010s decade, and we have Juice WRLD, and I believe he was like 76 or something. I forget what number he was, but dude, he shouldn't have made this list. It is way too early to put someone like him on this list. Yes, I feel like he would have earned it. He'd have been one of the best rappers of the 2020s, and he probably would have been the best rapper. He had that potential, but that's just it. Potential is not what should get you on this list. What should get you on this list is skills, impact, numbers, and whatever else Billboard apparently does this by. So, it just doesn't make any sense, but we're going to keep that same energy for the next person. Now, first thing, that's cool. XXXTentacion is number 17. His album, it's called 17. So, dope. But, again, just like Juice WRLD, X being at 17 is absolutely asinine. We're going to put X on here because he died. No, I'm not putting X on here because he died. I'm only putting X on here if we're marginalizing this and talking about the best new artists of the 2010s decade. And sure, yeah, X not only deserves to be on here, but he deserves to be in the top 10. But we're talking about overall and including each and every single artist from each and every single genre. Then XXXTentacion should have missed this by a fucking mile. The guy was big for 2 years, probably 3. And his impact was big, yes. His impact was big. Again, if you're doing this by impact, then he still fucking misses the list. If you're doing this by, numbers, he still misses the list. If you're doing this by skill, XXXTentacion still misses this fucking list. Because again, where's Tyler? Where's Mac Miller? Where's Freddie Gibbs? Where's, guys like that? Shit, where's Nipsey Hussle, as a matter of fact? Because he didn't make this list either. So, honestly, I just don't see it. I don't understand why they had Juice WRLD and X go literally not even just on this list as how I have it ranked. They're literally back to back on their chart. Literally, I think if you look, X is like 74 and Juice WRLD's like 75 or whatever numbers they are. They're literally back to back. So, I don't understand it. It must be a nostalgia thing. It must be, why isn't X on here? Because his fans are little assholes. But yeah, this made no sense. Oh, look, the Migos as a collective unit. Pretty weird having the Migos on here. We just spoke about X. Definitely, kind of strange, but beyond any case, the Migos do deserve to be on this list. Here we go. Finally, some credit, right? As a collective unit, the Migos have proved that they are not only one of the greatest rap groups of all time, but in a short amount of time, well, not really short amount of time, because it's really been since like 2015 or 14, really. Actually, you know what? We'll go ahead and say 14 up until to the 2020. That they've been making consistent hits after consistent hits, and then they're all very talented. And then on top of that, yeah, you can go ahead and say they're all influential as well. So they tick every single box. They deserve to be on this list, and I forget what number they are, but if they're not top 50, then that's a disjustice to how important the Migos are to the rap industry. Individually, they're all good. Really, Offset and Quavo are good. Takeoff is a little too quiet to keep his career afloat, so he kind of needs the Migos to make some noise. But all three of these guys have created something that, well, really, people. It was rumored that people were trying to mimic the Migos style. I keep almost calling them the Quavos for some fucking reason. So, excuse me for that. But yeah, everyone keeps on mistaking their styles for, or mistakenly ripping off their styles and biting their styles. Oh shit, you sound like Quavo. You sound like. Anyone ever heard of Skipper the Flipper? Everyone keeps calling him, the fourth Migo. So take of that what you may. And then I think one of the guys in 88 Glam kind of sounds like Quavo. So the big guy, I don't know what his name is, but he sounds just like Quavo. Listen to I forget what the hell the song is called, but look up 88 Glam. Yeah, that guy sounds just like Quavo for sure. If you haven't heard an 88 Glam song, by the way, for sure check them out. Dope artist. But yeah, no, the Migos definitely deserve to be here. If they weren't here, I'd scratch my head because, if we're talking about just like, they had other groups on here, so, they had to have included the Migos, but, yeah, no, seriously, this is well earned. Now, here's where I start to get confused because Wiz Khalifa? I haven't listened fully to a Wiz Khalifa song since, I don't know, Rolling Papers 2. And even then, I only listened to I listened to the entire album, and I really started regularly listening to just one song off of that album. And then I stopped listening to it because I got bored of Wiz Khalifa. Wiz definitely had a very great emergence in the game, and Black and Yellow, and it's just the anthems that came from this guy was, he seemed so unstoppable because his style was so different, and it's just like you have to think that he's probably on this list just because of his name and who he is, not because of what he's done. Because honestly, I'm not convinced that Wiz Khalifa is one of the best artists, the best rappers from the 2010s decade. This guy's not great to me. This guy's not, I do not mean to sound like I'm being critical on purpose, because this is all not biased. I actually absolutely love Wiz Khalifa as a person. He's so cool. But I can't do it. We're talking about skill, he misses it. We're talking about influence, he misses the hell out of it. We're talking about numbers, he misses this shit by so much. It don't make no. He damn near looks like one of the worst rappers if we're talking about numbers. Meek Mill. Speaking of Meek Mill, shit, he's probably in the same boat as Meek Mill, and even at that point, I feel like Meek Mill and Wiz Khalifa probably could have switched places here, and it looks the same amount of crazy. But it made more sense for Meek Mill to be as high up as Wiz Khalifa is. Like, literally 15th best rapper of the 2010s decade. Really. That's something. Think of all the rappers in the game. Now, imagine saying, Wiz Khalifa's the 15th best of the 2010s. If that sounds fucking crazy to you, then it sounds fucking crazy to me too. You're not alone. So Wiz was 15. Kanye West is ahead of him by a slight ass margin. If you go look at that chart, Kanye is not that far from Wiz Khalifa. So I don't know what they're trying to say, but not only does Kanye deserve to be here, he deserves to fucking be top 10, which you're gonna see why. What the couple rappers that stop him from reaching the top 10 pretty soon. But I don't know. The things that make me want to do a YouTuber based award show is because of the fact that we can come together and make decisions and make opinions that the people will agree with us with, and will be able to criticize our opinions, and we can respond. Billboard has out and has been out for a while. And though people have probably seen it and people have probably disagreed, they're not changing it. I'm not saying I'm going to change, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would change my list, but I would understand why you would have certain people in certain places. So the first fucking question I'm asking Billboard is, why the fuck is Kanye West? You know what? I don't want to spoil it. I really don't. So we're just going to keep this going just for the sake of, trying to keep a secret, trying to hold water here, because honestly, like Kanye not only ticks every box, especially the influence, but this man kicked off 2010 probably better than any fucking rapper with a banger of a, you know what I'm saying? And then, he kind of closes out 2020 kind of fucked, but I mean, from like 2010 up to like 2016, Kanye was unstoppable. And then the tirade, the poopity scoop, and that's when it all went to shit. So if we're basing his recent failure, if we're just talking about his recent failures and that's why he's so low, that's not even fair. Because you got guys like 21 Savage on the list. So it's like, what the fuck, right? Guys, you gotta help me understand. You see it. Flo Rida is at number 13. Fuck me sideways. This shit is insane. I mean, you gotta be, what? Flo Rida is on this list for the same reason that B.O.B. is on this list. Purely because that both of those guys were able to drop some, catchy little, songs back in the day. Some little radio hits. Can you blow my whistle, baby? I can name a Flo Rida song off the top of my head. Some of the guys on this list, I can't really. But all these guys have been able to make a in a sense of the word, classic. And Flo Rida is no different from that distinction. He is 100%. He was 100% capable of dropping a song that, everyone was, gonna get up, they were gonna put into a club or something, or was gonna be the next annoying ass fucking song on some commercial. So, yeah, I guess I agree with him being here. But higher than Kanye fucking West? You gotta, like, even higher than Wiz Khalifa? Like, nah, I just, oh God. And I'm cringing right now, and it's not even at the worst part yet. Oh my God, it just doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. It literally gets worse. Pit fucking Bull, Mr. Worldwide himself. Oh my goodness. Again, he's on this list for the same reason that Flo Rida is here. And the fact that they have this motherfucker directly after Flo Rida is just the worst. Pitbull is on here for the same reason that Flo Rida is on here, and the same reason that B.O.B. is on here. The ability to jump on a track and make it catchy. Because Pitbull had that ability to make a song catchy. I mean, cringy, but catchy too. As shit as a fucking artist as he is, he was able to give you some anthems back in the day. So, I don't knock. Fuck. I don't know, man. This guy, I'm questioning the legitimacy of fucking Billboard at this point, because how the fuck is Kanye West still so low? And I mentioned the worst part of this video, and we're about to talk about one of the absolute biggest fucking travesties on this list so far. Are you ready? Nah, you guys ain't ready. because I wasn't ready for this shit. This one here is the biggest fucking travesty on this list so far. By far. What the fuck is this? To say J. Cole is not a top 10 rapper of the 2010s decade is like saying fucking cereal doesn't go good with milk. But you know what? Water does. Like, what kind of shit is that? Like, it's bullshit. This is not bias. I'm showing zero bias here. But come on now. The biggest J. Cole haters won't even fucking admit and say that J. Cole is, you know what I'm saying? Like, they even J. Cole haters won't say that this bullshit. This man was listed as the 41st best artist of the 2010s decade. A little ahead of fucking Pitbull. Like, are you trying to tell me that J. Cole didn't do more than fucking Bull? Did a slightly more than Pitbull? Slightly more than Flo Rida? Honestly, this is not even the fucking worst part of this list. It's not. We haven't even reached that part yet. I'll tell y'all when we reach that part. It's not going to be as dramatic as this is, because look, if you're asking me who the four best, not even four best, who the three best rappers are of this generation, I'm going Kendrick Lamar first, or Drake first, Kendrick Lamar second, or Drake second, and then J. Cole third. I am not going to sit here and bullshit and say that fucking dude, he's 11th. He's literally 11th. I literally have a hard time naming fucking, I can't name 5 fucking rappers better than J. Cole at the moment, other than Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Those are the 2, and I have 3 more spots to fill apparently. I can't. It just sounds asinine to me. So we're gonna finally crack into the top 10 here. There's more blasphemy to come, so don't be surprised at anything else you see here from here on, because again, J. Cole is number fucking 11. 100% expected Jay-Z to be here, and it is earned. Jay-Z has consistently been pretty good for pretty much his whole career. I mean, he dropped some duds here and there, but you know, he drops albums like 4 for 4 and Holy Grail, Magna Carta. You know, Jay-Z is just a consistent, great presence, and anytime you hear anything from him, like from every project that he's dropped, even his joint album with Kanye West, it was amazing. I mean, why, you know, like Jay-Z, for a guy that's supposed to be the old guy in the 2010s, you know, it's pretty impressive that he can hold his own. And if he was to drop anything right now, it'd probably still be one of the best projects out. He genuinely is just one of the greatest rappers of all time, and it's evident here as he is in the top 10 here. Still a little pissed that J. Cole is kind of on the outside looking in here, but Jay-Z definitely deserved to be here on the list. Top 10, yeah, but definitely on the list as a whole. I was for sure expecting Future to be here, and it's actually earned, it's actually deserved. Future's been a presence in rap for pretty much his whole tenure. Ever since XXL, his blow up, Future has been a mainstay in the game of rap. And whether you think he's a terrible artist or not, skill wise, numbers and impact, the guy literally exceeds both of those, and that's enough to get him here on this list, and enough to get him on the top 10. Future legitimately is a guy who I think is scratching the cusps of greatness in the game of rap, and that's crazy because, you know, usually you don't put guys on the list who aren't known as spiritual lyrical miracles. You know, it's weird, but the name has changed. The name of the game has changed. It's, you know, entertainment, and then Future is not an absolutely bad guy. He can put words together and make them sound good. So, yeah, definitely a earned spot here. And Future's a guy who's probably going to be one of the best rappers of the 2020s decade as well. And he'll probably be higher on this list, I don't know if he could top anything he's done in the 2010s, but this guy is improving more and more with his lyricism and improving more and more with his character development. So, maybe he can do better. We'll just have to wait and see. But 9 is a good spot for Future, if I say so myself. Probably shouldn't be higher than J fucking Cole, but I promise I won't mention J. Cole anymore. Promise. Pinky promise. Okay, so that promise that I just made? Yeah, fuck that. Cardi B is number fucking 8. In what universe is Cardi B better than Kanye West, Jay-Z, and fucking J goddamn Cole? Dare I say Meek Mill? Like, this is what kind of shit? Cardi's been big for a couple years, and really we'll chalk it up to about 5 or maybe 4. But this shit is like, what are we doing here? Seriously, what kind of shit is this? Cardi's been hot for a cup of tea, or for as long as her marriages last, and she's the 8th best rapper in the 2010s. She literally cracked the top 10. How the fuck did that happen? How is Cardi B already, by their logic, Cardi B is pretty much one of the greatest female rappers of all time. Scratch that. By their logic, Cardi B is probably one of the greatest rappers of all time. Which, I'm going to disagree with the greatest rapper, one of the greatest rappers of all time. One of the greatest female rappers, I can kind of agree. Because she's still kind of wet in the game. She's still kind of, how wet? But she's still kind of wet in the game. She's still, she's not like, I just can't. I will go ahead and say that Cardi B began her career with a number 1. And as of recently, she's come back to a number 1. So it just seems like Cardi B doesn't miss. So sure, put her on the fucking list. But number 8? Over fucking Meek Mill, who's been around for a decade doing, fucking big shit his damn self. Big Sean even. Fuck these guys. Like, Jay-Z even. Kanye West, I'm confused about. J. Cole is seriously the biggest travesty we've ran into so fucking far. And Cardi B's better than all of these guys. Really. We're gonna move on to number 7 here, and yeah, this was the best. This was the worst part that I was talking about here, because Cardi B being literally ahead of all those guys is something to behold. It tells me that the media handpicks who their superstars are. Half of 23 is half of 22 is 11, so half of 23 would most definitely have to be like 11.5. So technically, J. Cole is better than half. Well, is literally at half. Well, not really at half, but you know what I mean. 12 we'll say is half. So J. Cole is ahead of half of these guys, but still, Cardi B is much ahead of half. That, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, eggs and fucking embryo, is bullshit. By any fan stance, it's bullshit. Travis is 7, but I mean, on a side note, why does Travis Scott always look like a dog who doesn't know why he's about to get his ass beat? Like, just look at him, man. Fucking. Okay, so staying on course here, I genuinely believe that Travis Scott's quote-unquote greatness is being blown way out of proportion. Travis Scott started to climb fast up rankings, and greatest of all time and best rapper of and all this other shit. He really started to climb up these rankings after Astroworld came out, because no one was really on Travis Scott like that before the fact. But after the fact, yeah, this guy is, one of the, people probably have Travis on their fucking top 100 because of Astroworld. And yeah, sure, an album can do that. But I would like to know that maybe 4 or 5 albums can do that. Maybe 3 damn albums. But fucking 1? Like, I forget what the album was called. Birds Sing Trap McKnight or something like that. I forgot what it's called. But, that album did pretty well. It wasn't a fucking classic, but for fuck's sake, when he dropped it, no one was calling him the best damn rapper out, the most influential rapper out. Oh shit, he dropped it. Yeah, he dropped it. But when Astroworld comes out, people flip their shit. Sicko Mode comes out, and now he's one of the best rappers ever. I'm confused about that. And above all else, he's still better than the likes of Kanye fucking West and J. Cole, which I don't understand at all. I'm going to sound like Isaiah the Player when I say this, but I genuinely believe everyone we talked about has not touched J. Cole in any regards to whatever the hell it is needs to be what makes you top 5 here. He's better than everybody here. And it's not me showing a bias. I genuinely believe that. It's just a travesty at this fucking point. I expected Lil Wayne here. In the beginning of 2010 up until 2015, Lil Wayne was making tons of noise. Lil Wayne was a constant in the game, and Lil Wayne's on this track, and Lil Wayne's a genius at rap and everything. And then the guy kind of disappeared, We really stopped hearing about Lil Wayne altogether for a second, and I assume he was just living life and just being himself and taking care of his family and everything, but he had a exit from the game, and yet here he is, still better than Cardi B and Travis Scott, which I feel like at this point is impossible. If you're better than them two, then you must be one of the greatest of all time, because the media really pushed Cardi B and Travis Scott as the saviors of rap, it seems like. And as soon as they drop a damn track, like, everyone must hear about it. Lil Wayne is a guy who, let's be real, recently has not been on everybody's, good side. If you're a hardcore rap fan, but for all you casuals out there, you're probably, whatever. He had a political, opinion, whatever. Now, I know I just labeled him Lil Coon. I'm joking. I still fuck with Lil Wayne, but, it's funny to laugh at that situation. I don't see any problems with him being friends with Trump. I don't, whatever, right? But nonetheless, yeah, Lil Wayne deserves a spot here. This high, debatable, but he deserves a spot here, nonetheless. Yes, you were reading this right. Kendrick Lamar is number 5. How the fuck? I genuinely believe that Kendrick was untouchable, unstoppable in the 2010s decade. I genuinely believe that Kendrick Lamar is the best rapper. If not Drake, he is the best rapper of the 2010s decade. 1 or 2 is literally interchangeable between those two, but 5 is just unacceptable to me. The rest of these, people have fair claims to their spots, but Kendrick at 5 just does not sound right. It's just like, how is this even possible? But I know how it is. The rest of these, people have greatness slapped all over them. But my thing is, Kendrick does as well. Maybe he's younger than the other rappers. I don't understand. I just don't get it. Skill, he's got it. Numbers, he's got it. Impact, for fucking sure he's got it. But I guess I understand. I guess. So we're just gonna move on to number 4. Now, Eminem is at 4. Yeah, sure, Eminem should be here. Yeah, I agree. But Eminem ahead of Kendrick is highly, yeah, it's kind of weird. Eminem being the greatest rapper of all time, in my opinion, makes seeing him at 4 kind of weird. But, I just don't understand why. I don't get why Kendrick is 5. I don't understand. Eminem has had quite a puzzling 2020, if I could do say so myself. Now, numbers wise, Eminem always does great, but we're talking about the products that he's dropped, the stuff he's given us, the revivals, Kamikaze was okay, but again, it was like, from my point of view, it was good. Seemed like more of a revenge album than it was supposed to be, just an album. And then Music to Be Murdered By was okay. It was good. It was all right. Is that enough to make him number 4? Like, I don't think so. Am I saying Eminem should be lower? Yeah, I actually am. I think Eminem should be a little lower. But if we're talking about numbers, then sure, not only should he keep his spot, he probably should be higher. And that's crazy because he's 4. So, skill, of course Eminem has it. Impact, yeah, probably yeah, sure. Numbers, yeah, that too. But apparently he pales in comparison to the last 3 rappers, which, here we go. We're about to get into some pretty fucking crazy waters here. Everybody who knows this channel well, be prepared to laugh at the next one. Nicki Minaj, number 3. The 3rd best rapper of the 2010s. And you know what? I'll agree with her being on the list. I'm not going to agree with her being number 3, though. Top 5, top 10, yeah, she's a lock. She's literally one of the most important rappers of this generation. She is. She's literally a generation-defining artist. But 3 is quite, is quite a head-scratcher. Now, Cardi B, I think, should be super low, but Nicki Minaj deserves her top 10 spot because she's been dominant for, the entire decade, just about. Well, not the entire. Well, I'll say from probably 2010 up to about 2000 and maybe 17. Let's say 16, 17. That's when she kind of coasted a little bit and dropped the ball a tad, but she remained great amongst all of that. So Nicki Minaj, yeah, she deserves her spot. Definitely one of the greatest female rappers of all time, and above all else, one of the greatest one of the best, just rappers of all time. Probably a top 50 greatest artists of all time, top 100 for sure, and that's because of her impact in the 2010s. So yeah, Nicki's an icon, and she definitely deserves a spot. Now we're on to the final 2, and honestly, number 2 kind of kills me. Whether you agree that Post Malone is a actual rapper, an R&B artist, or just a pop artist, it doesn't matter. When you look him up, Post Malone literally is classified as a rapper, and I can't show bias and not put him on here just because, I think he's another genre when he's listed as such. So he's the 2nd best rapper of the 2010s, and honestly, I'm gonna have to agree here, as we're talking about numbers, because he's probably the best as opposed to numbers. But you know who number 1 is. Let's stop bullshitting. Who have you not seen yet? Like, really, this is, oh boy, big shocker. But seriously, no brainer for Post Malone. It's He deserved to be here. He's supposed to be here. Number two, okay. But let's just fucking smash the damn nail in the coffin here and let's talk about number one. Drake being at number one does not surprise me in the slightest. I 100% expected it. And actually, if you go on the website and you try to find Drake, you don't see him because he's hidden from, like I said, the sixth to the first artists are hidden. But I mean, there's no two other rappers to hide, honestly. It's just Drake. So unless there's two artists and I'm missing a person, and I'll probably have to update this video later or talk about it in a post, is Drake. Drake is the best rapper. And even then, if there's another artist, they're not higher than Drake. This guy is literally the face of rap. He's the cover boy. He's the poster boy for rap. You know, he's the chosen one. Ever since 2010 up until now, you know, he's been that guy that's really carried rap into, you know, being the phenomenon that it is now. So, you know, very expected. Do we really have to explain why Drake is number one? Like, dude, you hear him, you see him all over the radio. The guy has over, I think, 200 hits. Like, at this point, he's not only one of the best rappers of the 2010s decade, he's one of the greatest rappers of all time. And it's really undoubted at this point. If you think that Drake shouldn't be on, you know, a top 100 list or top 25 or anything like that, you need to drill you really need to wake up. Even if you're a Drake hater, you need to wake up. This guy is great. Is very undoubted at this point. So that's Billboard's list. I wind up making a list of my own pretty soon, and you already know where Drake's gonna be on my list, but for sure, look out for that. And of course, y'all already know what it is. Y'all like the video, share this with your peers. Let them waste their time, about an hour of their time, with this video as well. And of course, like the video if you like it, so I know what y'all want me to upload. You know, comment down below, you know, get into wars and everything like that, debate amongst yourselves. Join the Discord if y'all want to talk amongst the rest of TKG, the most positive community on YouTube. You already know what time it is, man. Vibe, have a good time, and I'm TKG. So I guess I am TKG, right? I'm like the TKG captain, right? Yeah, sure. But vibe, have a good time, and I will see y'all later, man. All the culture out. Peace. How are y'all? I don't know if I'm gonna put this at the beginning or the end of the video, but during this video, Alex Trebek passed away due to prostate cancer. Now, I'm not about to sit up here and shout out every death, but this one does mean a lot to me because I grew up poor here in Detroit, Michigan, and I did not have cable a lot of times, and because of that, Jeopardy was a big part of my life, and it entertained me for such a long time, and it educated me, and it taught me some new things, and Trebek was a big, influence for that. I look forward to Jeopardy most times of the day. Even when I had cable, I would go to watch Jeopardy. It's generally one of my favorite shows. Trebek was a cool person. He was not, problematic in the slightest for all the years of life that we recognized that he lived. You only thought of positivity when you thought of Alex Trebek, honestly. So it sucks to see that an icon, a television icon, and not even just a television icon, but it's just a icon in general, has left this earth. I would say that he lived a nice, long, plentiful life, and he entertained a lot. He informed many, and unfortunately, like this, you never want to make announcements or tributes like this or anything like that. You always want to just like hold off on, you don't want to see it, but their time comes and it sucks. Jeopardy will never be the same again. I don't know if I could draw myself up to watch it, honestly, because Trebek was Jeopardy. So this sucks. It does, but yeah. Rest in peace to Alex Trebek, man. He was 80 years old. 80. It's a long time. So condolences to his family, condolences to his friends, and condolences to all his closest colleagues and workmates and everything. Thank you for everything that you've done for me, Alex. Thank you. So let's carry on.